Welcome to AffairsCloud. My name is Vikas Rana. We are one-stop solution for current affairs. You can find Crack Current Affairs course on our application exclusively for current affairs, where you will get daily, weekly, monthly content on regular basis. Use the code Vikas10 and get 10% additional discount while purchasing the course. Also, students, follow us on Telegram and Instagram. The link for the same are mentioned in our description. This video has both English and Hindi. The first part is English and second part is Hindi. Timestamps are mentioned in the description below. So students, we have started a new initiative that is of handwritten notes. It is helpful to understand the news daily, time saving and very useful for your revision. We aims to cover 15 questions via handwritten notes in upcoming bank exams. These handwritten notes are available on daily current affairs content PDF at our mobile application and website careerscloud.in. Only our Crack Current Affairs subscribers will be able to access these handwritten notes. A sample PDF of the handwritten notes will be available in the description.
Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you are all good. So students, in this video we will be discussing important current affairs for science and technology for January month. Session will be quite interesting and important, students, so stay tuned with us till the end. Students, we upload the daily current affairs video at 5 a.m. in the morning. These videos are quite important, so do watch them. Let's start. Which of the following are correct with respect to the ISRO's successful launch of the PSLV C-60 rocket in December? If we look at the options, option B and C are right, A is wrong. A is saying that the PSLV C-60 mission was ISRO's 100th launch and will undergo various operations leading up to the final docking by January 7, 2025. So remember, this mission, it was ISRO's which mission? It was not 100th mission but 99th launch. Next, which country has recently introduced the next generation high-speed train CR450, setting a new record with a top speed of 450 km per hour, surpassing the CR400? It is China. Right, take a note of this. And it has achieved 450 km per hour of the speed. Next, name the first made in India robotic system called Nobel Hospital and Research Center in Pune. It was developed this at the Nobel Hospital and Research Center in Pune, Maharashtra. Name it. Name that robotic system. What is the name of that robotic system? It is SSI Mantra. Right? It features a modular design with 5 robotic arms that will enhance the it will enhance the visual clarity, as well as it will help the surgeons and assist the surgeons in enhancing the control during the operations. Next, which of the following are correct with respect to the launch of Polo satellite launch vehicle from Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota, Andhra Pradesh? If we look at the options here, all the 3 options are rightly mentioned. Next, name the new Mars drone unveiled by NASA as a successor to the Ingenuity helicopter for the advanced exploration of the Mars planet. Right, so on Mars planet, this Ingenuity helicopter was launched, right? So it is a small drone, right? That is like a helicopter. So successor of this Ingenuity has been launched recently. What is the name of it? It is Mars Chopper. Next, the 6th and the final Scorpion class submarine by the name Dash under the project P75 was delivered by Madgaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited to the Indian Navy on 9th of January. It is INS Vagshir. This is the name of the 6th and the final Scorpion class submarine. Next, which company has recently collaborated with Korea-based SIIS Co. Limited to supply hyperspectral satellite data in Korea? It is Pixel. Correct, this is the name of the company, and this partnership will provide transformative insights that will enable end users across industries to tackle complex challenges. Next, which of the following satellites did China recently launch into geostationary transfer orbit to test technologies for in-orbit refueling and extending the satellite's lifespan? So, refueling of those satellites in orbit only, for which a satellite was launched by China. The name of that satellite was Shijian 25. Next, which company recently launched the second multi-purpose vessel of the Indian Navy named INS Utkarsh from its shipyard in Kattupalli, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, designed for maritime surveillance? It is L&T, Larsen and Toubro Limited. Next, which of the following satellites constellations was launched in January by Pixel, marking it India's first private satellite constellation designed to capture data across more than 150 spectral bands. Very important, students, so take a note of it. What is the name of that company? It is Pixel, and they launched what? Right? Which of the following satellite constellations was launched? It is Firefly. Firefly was the name of that constellation. Right? It consists of some high resolution commercial grade hyperspectral satellites. These satellites, they will help us to provide clarity for the earth observation, and these satellites are designed to capture data across 150 spectral bands. Next, Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin recently launched reusable Dash rocket from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, that is in USA, showcasing its ability to place a test satellite in orbit. So name of that satellite is New Glenn. Next, which of the following is Pakistan's first remote sensing satellite launched by China from Jikwan Satellite Launch Center? So first satellite, remote sensing satellite of China, it is PRSC-EO1, Earth Observation Satellite 1, right? PRSC is your Pakistan Remote Sensing Satellite, Earth Observation 1, launched by China. Next, Indian Space Research Organization successfully demonstrated Dash in January 2025 at its test facility in Mahendragiri in Tamil Nadu. So, ISRO demonstrated Vikas liquid engine in January 2025 at their facility in Mahendragiri, Tamil Nadu. Next, which of the following companies launched the world's first commercial satellite for space situational awareness named Space Camera for object tracking satellite to monitor space objects? It is Digantara. This is the name of the company, right? Digantara. It is Bengaluru, Karnataka based, an aerospace company that is backed by Aditya Birla Group and SIDBI. They have launched this Space Camera for object tracking satellite, that is the world's first commercial satellite for space situational awareness. Next is DRDO under the Ministry of Defense recently conducted India first ground test of active cooled dash lasting 120 seconds. So DRDO under the Ministry of Defense, they recently conducted the first ground test of an active cooled scramjet combustor that lasted 120 seconds. Next, mention the company under the ISRO that recently dispatched the crew module for the first uncrewed mission of Gaganyaan 1 to Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota, Andhra Pradesh. So, which is that company under ISRO? It is Liquid Propulsion Systems Center. Next, name the India's first electric vertical takeoff and landing air taxi prototype that was recently launched by Sarla Aviation Private Limited at the Bharat Mobility Global Expo 2025 in New Delhi. So, Shunya, right? That is the India's first electric vehicle takeoff and landing air taxi prototype, Shunya. And it was inaugurated where? It was inaugurated at the Bharat Mobility Global Expo held in New Delhi. Next, mention the payload that was recently deployed into Indian Space Research Organization's Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle Orbital Experimental Module, that is POM-4, launched in December 2024. So what is that payload that was deployed into the ISRO's PSLV Satellite Orbital Experimental Module, right? So what is that payload? It is GLX-SQ, right? This is a first of its kind integration of synthetic aperture radar and optical imagery addressing the critical needs in sectors such as defense, agriculture, disaster and response. Next, ISRO has successfully launched the 100th mission with GSLV F-15 from second launch pad in Sriharikota, Andhra Pradesh. This mission carries what? It carries NVS-02, and remember this NVS-02, what it is? Or it is GSLV F-15, right? This is the rocket from which it was launched, and it has completed 100 launches, 100 missions. Next, South Africa has recently discovered a new giant radio galaxy using Meerkat telescope in North Cape province of South Africa. This GRG is named as what? It has been named as Inkathazo, right? This Inkathazo, right? Here remember, it's this galaxy, it spans 3.3 million light years from end to end, that is in their size here, right? And this is 32 times the size of our galaxy, that is Milky Way. Next, NASA recently unveiled the discovery of a supermassive black hole that was named LID 568. It was done using James Webb Space Telescope and Chandra X Observatory. Correct? Take a note of this. And this black hole, it existed approximately almost 1.5 billion years after the Big Bang. So that's all for the day, students. Now let's move to the revision part that will be beneficial for your learning. RBI recently introduced the new provision that enables dash payments from two EYC, full KYC prepaid payment instruments through third-party applications. So RBI, they recently introduced a new provision that enables the UPI, Unified Payment Interface, payments from two full KYC PPIs. Next, which of the following accounts are listed in RBI's new guidelines effective from 1st of January 2025 for mandatory closure? So it is which of the following accounts are listed here. Take a note of this, students. It is your dormant account, zero balance account and inactive account. So these three accounts are listed in the RBI's new guidelines starting from 1st of January 2025. Right? What is a zero balance account? That accounts that can maintain a zero balance for an extended period. Dormant accounts that have not been used continuous for 2 years or more, and inactive accounts are those accounts that have remained inactive for more than 12 months. Next, NPCI, they have announced an extension of the deadline of implementing 30% market share cap for UPI providers till which date? Till 31st of December 2026, right? And according to them, they have stated that any company cannot have more than 30% of the market share. But as of now, if we see PhonePe, they have the largest market share of almost 47.8% stake. Next, name the banking platform that was launched by Federal Bank recently. It is Fed1. Next, which bank and Union Bank of India signed a memorandum of understanding with Assam government to offer insurance benefit to the state government employees? It is State Bank of India. So SBI and Union Bank, they have recently partnered to sign an MOU where they have partnered with, or they have signed this MOU with Assam, where they will be offering insurance benefits to the state government employees. Next, which bank has recently launched a TAB-based digital process for non-resident Indians to open NRE and NRO accounts? So, which bank has recently launched this TAB? This is launched by State Bank of India, SBI. Right? Take a note of this. This initiative will streamline the account opening process through real-time digital verification and paperless system. Right? Next, in December, National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development, they have invested how much amount in long-term bonds issued by NDR InvIT? So 745 crore rupees has been invested by NABF ID here. Right? InvITs, these are your infrastructure investment trust. Next, in January, Cosmia Financial Holding Private Limited, they have received the approval from SEBI to sponsor what? This is to sponsor their mutual fund. Next, in January, RBI has announced the interest rate for the RBI floating rate saving bonds that will be taxable for the period of 1st January to 30th of June 2025, and it will be remaining at how much percent? It will be 8.05%, right? And there will be a 7-year of lock-in period here. The bond requires a minimum investment of 1000 rupees. Next, under which section of the Credit Information Companies Regulation Act of 2005, RBI has issued master directions, RBI Credit Information Reporting Directions 2025 in January 25. So under which section it was? It was under the section 11 here, right? The purpose of issuing the MD here, that is your master direction, is to establish a standardized framework for the reporting the and dimensionation of credit information, ensuring confidentiality and security of the sensitive credit data. Next, in January, SEBI has eased settlement norms for brokerage accounts that remain inactive for how many calendar days? For 30 calendar days. Previously, brokers were obligated to identify inactive clients and return their funds within the 3 working days. Next, when is the implementation of the new rule limiting the number of microfinance lenders to 3 per borrower set to come into effect after its postponement? So it will be coming into effect from 1st of April 2025, right? And it was earlier 4 borrowers, lenders to 3 per borrower. Now it was earlier 4, which has now been narrowed down to 3. Next, Which company has recently received the approval from RBI to operate as a trade receivables discounting system platform? This is your CredX. Correct. This new business will operate under the brand name DTX, that is Domestic Trade Exchange. This TREDS platform was launched in 2018 under RBI's regulation, and this platform are required to have a minimum paid up entry capital of 25 crore rupees. Next, RBI has recently introduced a new credit reporting rule mandating that all the lenders update credit bureau records every 15 days effective from 1st of January 2025. Next, which company has recently introduced India's first actively managed open-ended equity scheme based on the quality factor theme through its new fund offer? This is your White Oak Capital Mutual Fund. And here investors can subscribe to this new fund offer starting from 8th of January 2025 with closing on 22nd of January 2025. Next, Exim Bank, that is Export Import Bank of India, has raised $1 billion through 10-year bond financial instrument in the international market. The milestone makes Exim Bank's first Indian organization to issue dollar bonds in 2025, representing significant achievement for the Indian issuers in international capital market. Next, which organization recently approved 21.28 billion rupees loan for GMR Smart Electric Distribution Private Limited to implement smart meters across Uttar Pradesh? So, which is that organization? It is IREDA, Indian Renewable Energy Development Agency Limited. This loan will help the installation of 7.57 smart meters across Uttar Pradesh. Next, which company recently launched two new schemes, that is BSE Sensex Next 30 Index Fund and ETF, right? They are a part of the new opportunity. So, a fund and an ETF has been launched by which company? That is BSE Sensex Next 30 Index Fund and ETF. So, launched by DSP Asset Managers Private Limited. The NFO new fund offer for these innovative schemes will be opening on 10th of January and they will be up for subscription till 24th of January. Next, which company recently received approval from SEBI for their SM REIT? So recently, Strata Capital Management Private Limited, they received the approval from SEBI for their SM REIT. Next, Grow Mutual Fund Asset Management Limited, they recently launched India's first Grow Nifty India Dash Public Sector Fund. So it has been launched. Indian Railways Public Sector Undertaking Index Fund and an ETF has been launched here. Next, which company has recently, in collaboration with ICICI Lombard General Insurance Company Limited, launched the first of its kind insurance coverage exclusively for travelers attending the Mahakumbh Mela in Prayagraj, Uttar Pradesh? So, which company recently collaborated with ICICI? It is PhonePe. Next, here IBBI, they have mandated that all asset auctions under the liquidation process must use eBCRE platform, right? That is a banknet platform, that is Bank Asset Auction Network, right? That means on this banknet, this will be used by IBBI, right? They have it has been mandated that all the banks should use them for the liquidation of their non-performing assets or for the liquidation of the properties against which the loan was taken, but the loan was not paid by the person. So now we can liquidate their property, we can auction their property to recover that loan back, right? So IBBI, they mandated all the asset auctions under the liquidation process must use eBCRE platform starting when? Starting 1st of April 2025. Next, which bank recently launched Chiranjeevi Super Senior Citizen Fixed Deposit Scheme tailored for individuals that are aged 80 years and above with higher interest rate? It is Industrial Development Bank of India, IDBI Bank. Next, which of the following is the primary focus of Punjab National Bank's first ever cyber security hackathon recently launched in January 2025? It is malware threat. Next, which payment solutions provider in the Middle East partnered with NPCI International Payment Limited to enable QR-based UPI merchant payments in UAE? It is Magnati. Right, here UPI acceptance will be initially provided across Dubai duty free, enhancing shopping and payment experience for the Indian tourists. Next, how often will RBI have recently decided to conduct variable repo rate or variable rate repo auction to boost the banking liquidity during the deficit? So it will be conducted daily. Next, Dash and special rupee Vostro accounts can be used by non-residents to settle legitimate transactions with other non-resident Indians as per the new rules introduced by RBI in January 25 to promote the use of Indian rupee. So, who it is your special non-resident rupee accounts and special rupee Vosto accounts. Now they can settle legitimate transactions with other non-resident Indians in Indian rupees. Next, alternate scheme recently launched by Bank of Baroda named BOB Liquid Fixed Deposit. Right? It has been launched and it will be combining the benefits of interest rate with the convenience of easy liquidity of a saving account. Next, name the non-participating individual saving plan recently launched by Shriram Life Insurance that guarantees high returns of up to 6,668% of the total paid up premium. It is Shriram Life Sunishchit Labh. Right? This is the non-participating individual saving plan. Next is which bank recently collaborated with RuPay to launch the unified payment interface enabled first earn RuPay credit card. It is which is that bank? Sorry, it is IDFC First Bank Limited. They have launched this first earn RuPay credit card. Next, recently Shriram Housing Finance Limited, they rebranded themselves as Dash after its acquisition by Warburg Pincus and co-investors. So they have renamed them to what? To True Home Finance. Next, who is the chairperson of a 5-member standing external advisory committee recently formed by RBI to evaluate the applications for universal banks and small finance banks? Right? It is Mahesh Kumar Jain. Right? This committee has a 3-year tenure supported by the Department of Regulation of RBI for sectorial assistance. Next, which company recently received in principle approval from RBI to operate as a payment aggregator cross border? It is Skydo Technologies Private Limited. Which institute recently appointed Cherukumali Srinivasan Rao as their director? So, Indian Agriculture Research Institute has appointed CS Rao or Cherukumali Srinivasan Rao as their director. Right? Take a note of it. Next, he will be succeeding here whom? He will be succeeding Dr. A.K. Singh. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Secretary General of Indian Ocean Rim Association Secretariat in Abin, Mauritius, succeeding Salman Al Farisi of Indonesia. So, Sanjeev Ranjan has been appointed here as the Secretary General. He will be in this position for the next 3 years. Next, Vitul Kumar was recently appointed as an additional charge as Director General to which organization? So, he was given the additional charge as the Director General of Central Reserve Police Force CRPF. Next, which organization appointed Bhuvnesh Kumar as the Chief Executive Officer starting from 2nd of January 2025? It is UIDAI, that is Unique Identification Authority of India. He will be replacing whom? He will be replacing Amit Agarwal. Next, who has been recently reappointed as the non-executive independent chairman of the Bandhan Bank Limited? So, Anup Kumar has been recently reappointed as the non-executive chairman of Bandhan Bank Limited. Next, which insurance company has appointed Amit Ganorkar as their MD and CEO starting from 1st of January? It is Tata AIG General Insurance Company Limited, and Amit Ganorkar will be succeeding Nilesh Garg. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Chief Executive Officer of NASCOM Foundation with immediate effect? So, Jyoti Sharma has been appointed as the CEO of NASCOM and she will be succeeding Nidhi Bhasin. Next, who was recently appointed as the 11th chairman of ISRO and secretary of the Department of Space by the Government of India? So, who he will be? V. Narayanan. Right? Take a note of this. Next, Ministry of Finance has recently appointed C.S. Sethi and Uday Kotak as the governing council members of what? Of National Investment and Infrastructure Fund Trust Limited. Take a note of this. C.S. Sethi will be replacing Dinesh Khara, the former chairman of SBI, while Uday Kotak will be replacing T.V. Mohandas Pai. Right? Next, which organization has recently appointed former Indian athlete and Asian Game gold medalist Bahadur Singh Sago as their president for a period of 4 years during their annual General Assembly meeting in Chandigarh, Punjab? Which is that association or organization? It is Athletes Federation of India, and he will be replacing whom? Adli Sumariwala. Next, who has been recently appointed as the chairperson of Athletics Federation of India's Athletes Commission? Anju Bobby George, right? And Anju Bobby George, correct. This commission includes 6 women athletes. Anju Bobby George, a 2003 world champion bronze medal, right? And 5 other. Next is who has been recently appointed as Austria's interim chancellor after resigning of Karl Nehammer on 4th of January. Right, so who has been appointed as Austria's interim chancellor? Alexander Schellenberg. Next, who recently assumed office as the 53rd president of Venezuela for third consecutive term on 11th of January? Nicolas Maduro Moros, and for a period of 6 years. Next, who was recently elected as the 14th president of Lebanon, succeeding former president Michael Naim on whose term ended in October? So Joseph Khalil on. Next, who recently appointed as the chairman cum managing director of National Aluminium Company, that is NALCO? Brijendra Pratap Singh. Next, who recently resigned as the Canada's prime minister and the leader of the Liberal Party? Justin Trudeau. Next, in January, Devajit Saikia, an advocate and former wicket-keeper batsman from Assam, was announced as the new secretary of which organization? He was appointed as the new secretary of BCCI. Next, who has been recently re-elected as the 5th president of Croatia for a second consecutive term? Zoran Milankovic. Next, who has been recently appointed as the brand ambassador of global sportswear brand Puma India? So, PV Sindhu has been appointed here as their brand ambassador. Next, who has been recently assigned to the Monetary Policy Department along with 10 other portfolios after the RBI's reshuffled its deputy governor responsibilities? If we look at the option, M. Rajeshwar Rao, right? And the central bank has reshuffled their 33 departments among the 3 deputy governors, Rajeshwar Rao, T. Ravi Shankar and Swaminathan Jankiraman. Next, who has been recently appointed as the 53rd Prime Minister of Lebanon, replacing Najib Azmi Mikati? So, Nawaf Abdullah Salim Salam. Next, the Department of Telecommunication under the Ministry of Communication recently extended the additional charge of Robert Zerard Ravi as the chairman and managing director of Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited, that is BSNL, and Mahanagar Telephone Nigam Limited, that is MTNL, for another 3 months starting from 15th of January to 14th of April 2025. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Director General of CRPF succeeding Vital Kumar? Ganendra Pratap Singh will be the new Director General of CRPF succeeding Vitul Kumar. Next, Nidhi Khare, the Secretary of the Department of Consumer Affairs under the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Foods and Public Distribution, was recently assigned the additional responsibility of the Secretary of the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy.